And Kira Constantine of Canada goes on the inside in lane 2. The Toronto athlete was 4th in the Canadian Championships in a season's best of 51.78, but she has run under 51. This promises then to be a very competitive second heat. The qualifying conditions reasonably generous. First 3 go through by right, and then if you do finish 4th but have a solid race, you've got a good chance of getting one of those non-automatic qualifier spots, and then 48 hours rest until the semi-finals on Friday. 2 heats to come after this. Constantine of Canada in 2, Amovo of Nigeria in 3, then Mutura of Kenya in 4, the Maldive athlete Hassan in 5, Richard of Malta in 6, Abrahams of Guyana 7, and Nicole Yeargin, almost in front of a home crowd, the Scot, goes in lane 8. Beautiful blue track, isn't that a glorious scene? It looks like it's been washed by the rain from earlier on this morning. Yeargin has gone off well left of picture, but so too indeed inside her has Abrahams of Guyana. If anything, she's closed up to the Scots a little bit, going really well in lanes 3 and 4. Aramova of Nigeria in the green strip, 3rd from right, and Mutura of Kenya got a bit of work to do at the moment in 4. Good running 2 in lane 2 from Kira Constantine of Canada, but on the outside, probably going best of all is Abrahams of Guyana. The Guyana athlete leading off the final bend into the straight, although really good running and a well-judged race from the Canadian Constantine in 2 so far. Yeargin's got a bit of work to do. Yeargin in the blue for Scotland nearest the camera, getting into 3rd place. The winner's going to go to Constantine in lane 2. A really solid run from her. Second there is Abrahams in lane 7, and Yeargin does take that vital 3rd spot. Qualifies by right 52.03 there, the winning time for Constantine. That's only a couple of clicks outside her season's best, so a really solid run. Not quite as quick as Uhurugu's winning time in the first heat. That was 51.34, but a job really well done there by Kira Constantine of Canada.
Yeah, you said it was going to be competitive, Tim, and it was. Quite a lot of energy was expended in that second heat. Hands on hips. Even when you're tired, you just have to walk off, pretend you're not. Don't show your competitors any fatigue in any shape or form. And as you say, Yeargin got out to a good start. Another athlete in good form this year, the Scottish athlete, born in Maryland in the USA. Had her upbringing over there, but her mother hails from Dunfermline and was cleared to represent Scotland in May in 2020. She'd already had the stagger, hadn't she, outside of her. Dragged back by Abrahams in lane number 7. So running to 300 metres. And you talked about the schedule. The semi-final is on Friday. The final is on Sunday. 2 days between every round. Every athlete's different.
Did you ever enjoy that, Kath?
I hated rest days.
That much luxury? Why? I love them.
No. I don't want to go back to when the world was grey 22 years ago, but in Sydney 2000, we had 4 rounds, a heat, a second round, a semi and a final on consecutive days. And we liked it because it doesn't give your body a chance to relax. It doesn't give your body a chance to shut down, because when you shut down, then you have to get back up again.
Really?
For some athletes, is hard.
But isn't a one-off race fresh better than a series of races close together?
Everybody's different, Tim. We had it at the World Championships recently, the 400-metre schedule for the likes of Matt Hudson-Smith, who's coming up shortly, and Michael Norman. It was really spaced out and rest days were given. Everybody's different, of course.
Well, Kira Constantine gave 100% there. She really did, as did Simwaka, who took that 3rd place in the first heat, the Malawian, running a personal best of 52.19. She collapsed across the line. I think you said, Rob, she was wallowing in a sea of lactic, but she made it through. And in this second heat of the women's 400 metres, just confirming it was Constantine of Canada, Abrahams of Guyana, and Yeargin of Scotland who did get through by right, with Mutua of Kenya 53.02 for 4th place.
Well, you mentioned the blue track, Tim. A little story for those English football fans, especially fans around the Commonwealth and the world of Premier League football. A mile down the road in B6, he's one of the founding members of the English Football League, my home team of Aston Villa. And those that know the colours of English football team Aston Villa is claret and blue. Now, this is a very blue track. which is close to the colours of Birmingham City, which is another top football team here. But the two people, the main people involved with laying this track are Aston Villa fans, so apparently there's a little bit of claret sprinkled into the blue track that you were enthusing about there, Tim.
Yes, I had heard that rumour. You must be delighted about that, Kath. Cara Constantine was indeed the winner ahead of Abrams and Nicole Yeargin there. 1, 2, 3. Those three go through by right to Friday's semi-finals, and Mutua will have to wait and see if that is good enough. 53.02 at the moment. She is the second fastest non-automatic qualifier. Remember, 4 non-automatic qualifier spots from these 4 heats.
Yes, they're looking for 54.08 or better with 2 of these heats to come. Great debate about the length of rest for the 400-metre runners. I was commentating with Hannah England, World Championship medalist over the 1500. She was incandescent that there was so much rest between the rounds of the 400 metres in Oregon. She said, hey, listen, try running 3 3/4 laps. Anyway, that debate will run, as will the athletes in Heat 3 of the women's 400 metres. Really looking forward to seeing Sada Williams of Barbados. What a fantastic breakthrough for her. Not only making the final of the women's 4 in Oregon, but taking the bronze as well. There were so many messages flying around from Barbadians around the world who were so overjoyed with her great performance. Here's the lineup then for the third heat of the women's 400 metres. Sada Williams on the inside. Namesake Jodie in the lane outsider. Broke 50 seconds last year, making the Olympic final, but struggling for form this year. Watch out as well for Zoey Clark of Scotland in 7 and McGregor of Jamaica in 8. So going through from the outside, Shireen Valaboy, SEA Games bronze medalist back in 2015. It was when she was a teenager. She'll have to go out hard because Renisha McGregor will be chasing her down. Semi-finalist in the Olympics last year and a bronze in Doha in the 4x4 and in Tokyo. Zoey Clark of Scotland will get a great reception. A PB in Geneva this year, made the semis on the Gold Coast. She's a better athlete now. She'll hope that she's 2 races away from the final. Lydia Gele, 6 in the African Champs, the Botswanan. What a fabulous conveyor belt of 400-metre runners the African nation have, and she's the latest of them. Shelsa Ray represents the Cayman Islands, national record holder with that 52.17. She studies at Kansas State University, so good experience on the collegiate circuit. Aminath Mohammed of the Maldives, just 17 years of age. What a moment and what a stage for her, performing in front of what, 30-odd thousand? It's almost a sellout. Jodie Williams, a brilliant performance last year to make the Tokyo final. Can you believe she was the World Youth Champion back in 2009? Sada Williams was a revelation in Oregon. She is flying, scorched to that PB and the World Championship bronze behind Shawnee Miller-Weibo. It was the performance of a lifetime, and she will be brimming with confidence and intent. And there's just a clarification as to the times required for any of the athletes not finishing in the top 3. Semis on Friday, final on Sunday. Williams of Barbados in 2, Williams of England in 3, Mohammed Maldives in 4, Ray Cayman Islands 5, Gele Botswana 6, Clark Scotland 7, McGregor Jamaica 8, Valaboy Malaysia on the outside in lane 9. Watch for Williams in 2, coming round that tight bend.
Set.
A polite hush turns into an expectant roar. McGregor's gone out really well, second from the outside. We would have expected her to close down on Valaboy. Both Williams on the inside, going well. Jodie for England went out really aggressively, but Sada right up on her shoulder now, coming through on the inside. And Zoey Clark running well, now reeling in the Jamaican who started hard. Sada Williams leading on the inside. A lovely flowing stride, as I said, brimming with confidence. Good run by Jodie Williams at the moment. She's in second place with Zoey Clark coming through. McGregor's tying up a little bit, the Jamaican. Sada Williams from Zoey Clark and Jodie Williams. They are the three qualifiers, 51.67. Not quite as quick as we saw from Victoria Uhuragu in the first of the heats, but this is a young woman flying at the moment, a World Championship medalist. She has the whole nation back home, proud Caribbean island, willing her on. And I'll tell you what, she is looking very, very good. Not as fast as the first heat, but that was an excellent qualification, as it was from Zoey Clark of Scotland, and Jodie Williams taking that third spot.
Yeah, the Bajan Williams looking really strong there on the outside. She has to be tired, doesn't she, from those World Championships? It's a strange thing when you come back from a major games, especially on long-haul flights. It's the emotional drain that takes the time to recover from, almost more than the physical drain sometimes. The highs of especially being involved in the final and getting a medal, and then the celebrations really do take it out of you, and you have to be very, very careful if you're going to go from one championship to the next in a short space of time. But that's a really good run from Jodie Williams, who has been struggling with injuries a great deal through this year. She gets her place into the semis in lane 3. She's a much better athlete than that, of course. We saw her run under 50 seconds last year. She runs in third place here in 52.47 there for England, second to right. And I love Zoey Clark, the way she runs. She's beautifully fluid runner, very powerful, lovely symmetrical stride. And she comes through strongly. She is strong, always finishes well. And closing there over the final meters. But the gloves come off in the next round.
That was a very relaxed, confident piece of qualification from Sada Williams. Barbados have got a good crop of 400-metre runners at the moment. Jonathan Jones made it through to the final of the men's race in Oregon, and he's an excellent 800-metre runner as well. I could see him stepping up to the two-lap event sometime soon. But at the age of 24, Sada Williams has really found another gear. Semi-finalist in Doha, semi-finalist in Tokyo, but this season has been excellent. Watch that nicely timed run by Zoey Clark. Tim was mentioning third from the outside. She had the Jamaican McGregor to chase, who went off arguably a little bit too hard, judging by how laboured she was down the last 50. Clark came home ahead of Jodie Williams. As you mentioned, Tim, it's been a tough season for Jodie, despite breaking 50 last year, so she is into the semis, but not looking quite in the kind of shape she was in Japan last summer. Sada Williams, the World Championship bronze medalist, with an excellent piece of qualification for the semis. She'll be joined by Zoey Clark and Jodie Williams, finalist from Tokyo last summer. One more heat to come.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we were treated to a fabulous day one in the women's heptathlon. Now, day one started with the 100-meter hurdles, and Katarina Johnson-Thompson started the day in 5th place after the hurdles, but ended the day in 1st following a great high jump in 200 meters. She is currently the leader, followed by Kate O'Connor, 109 points behind. Very interesting battle at the moment for 3rd place. Only 2 points are separating them. Athletes have come back this morning for the long jump. Probably not as much rest as they would have wanted. We have Tanel Crace, who's going to be jumping first in the long jump. She's currently sitting in 3rd place.
For England, the event leader, Katarina Johnson-Thompson.
We had a great gold medal from Australia yesterday in the pole vault. Up next, we have leader Katarina Johnson-Thompson, who's currently sitting in 1st. And long jump is one of her favorite events, so she will be enjoying this one. And next we have Anna McCauley of Northern Ireland. She is currently sitting in 6th. Jade O'Dowda from England, currently sitting in 5th. She had a great shot put yesterday. Next we have Lauren Evans from Wales. She's currently sitting in 7th. We've got Edna Boafab. Now, she's currently sitting in 8th, but getting so much experience and knowledge she's going to be able to take back to Papua New Guinea. Huge cheer for England's Holly Mills. Again, this is an event that is very strong for her. She'll be looking forward to this one to get into medal contention. Next, we have Kate O'Connor from Northern Ireland.
So back on the track, let's go to the final heat of the women's 400 metres. There's the start list. A DNS for Carr of Belize in lane number 4. But these athletes have waited patiently, and this is an interesting heat, and I'll introduce you to the athletes and tell you why. Onajuvwewo of Nigeria, the 17-year-old, will start in lane number 9. A nice wave, 52.59, a lifetime best this year. In lane number 8, Mary Mora of Kenya, the national record holder, 50.84, will line up in the 800-metre final here at the Commonwealth Games. Amma Pippi of England will start in lane number 7, semi-finalist at the World Championship, just shy of her lifetime best this season. Botlo Gwetswe of Botswana, 4th in 2018, so her second Commonwealth Games. A little bit down on her lifetime best. She's a couple of seconds outside her 50.5 lifetime best effort. Caitlin Bobb from Bermuda, lovely part of the world, joins us in lane number 5. Lenny Shida of Uganda will start in lane 3. Fabulous running in the 10,000 metres last night. She's their national champion. And Ayana Stiverne of Canada, 51.21 this year. The Canadian starts in lane number 2. So they're the current qualifiers by time. 53.24. Lydia Jelle of Botswana. He's holding on to one of the non-automatic qualifying times. Keep your eyes on Mora. 50.84 seconds this year in Nairobi. He's qualified for the 800-metre final here. It's not as often nowadays, is it? We see 400-metre and 800-metre runners doubling up like we used to in years gone by, but Mora is a very special talent at both.
Set.
So Mora goes in 8, Pippi of England goes in 7. With the withdrawal of Carr of Belize in 4, there's a bit of a gap there, but on the outside, Onajuvwewo is running well, and Mora has gone. See her jogging there on the right-hand side of your shot. She's continuing, but she's running the race. And meanwhile, up ahead, Shida's running well of Uganda, but she's being overtaken on the inside by Stiverne of Canada. Remember, just the top 3 guaranteed a place in the final. Onajuvwewo of Nigeria on the outside, but the roar around Birmingham's Alexander Stadium for Amma Pippi. This is nice and controlled. The battle for the 2nd and 3rd automatic qualifying spot. Canada and Uganda are going to get the 2nd and 3rd place. But Amma Pippi, 52.46. And Mary Mora in lane number 8 of Kenya has to finish that race, if I'm correct, because she wants to line up Rob Walker in the 800-metre final. So she cannot DNS, she just has to get herself round.
Yes, that's what I took from that as well, because initially it did look like she was interested. She had Amma Pippi coming up on her inside, and they looked like they were about to sweep past the Nigerian on the outside, but it looked initially as though she was going to stop. But that's what I thought as well. She just wanted to ensure that she is okay for the 800 metres, which is her favoured distance after all. She's the World Championship bronze medalist. So watch second from the very top of your picture. Pippi coming up onto Mora's shoulder. Even at this stage, you knew the Kenyan wasn't really interested in going for a fast time, but she had been entered for the 400, and of course there's always the 4x4 as well. But her aspirations for glory lie in the 800 metres, despite the fact that she is a fabulous exponent over 1 lap. She feels that in order to have a chance to beat Keely Hodgkinson over 800, she's got to give that race her undivided energy. Anyway, so that was her quest for the semis gone. Onajuvwewo on the outside was coming under some pressure here. Nicely timed run there by Amma Pippi, and there was a rare old battle going on in lanes 2 and 3. The Ugandan Lenny Shida, 4th in the African Championships, driving for the line. Ayana Stiverne, who was 6th in her heat in Oregon, hanging on to 2nd place. So England, Canada and Uganda, the three nations through to the semis.
Nice and relaxed. So an English athlete, Amma Pippi, finishing heat number 4 of our first round of the women's 400 metres, like we had in heat 1, with an English win like we had for Ahuragu. So there's confirmation. Amma Pippi automatically through in heat number 4, the 3 big Qs. I don't think Caitlin Bobb is going to get through with her 4th place time. And here are the qualifiers then for the women's 400 metres semi-finals. Victoria Ahuragu leading the way for England, 51.34. All the big Qs for those that finished in the top 3 throughout those heats. And then you start seeing the small Qs. And indeed, Lydia Jelle of Botswana, 53.24, was enough to get her in the 400 metre semi-finals.